Hello, and welcome to Productivity for Solopreneurs, where each week I share insights to getting things done. So let me know you're here. Say hi in the comments. I'm going to check and make sure that it's working in the other places. So today is live number 94, and today's topic is taking breaks. And I would love to know in the comments, when was the last time you took a real restorative break, or when the next time is um, that you're going to take a real restorative break. And for those of you who don't know me, my name is Evie Burke, and I help women solopreneurs who want to take their productivity to a new level. They're overwhelmed, they're exhausted by everything that they want to get done in their business, but they're not interested or able to work, 9 to 12-hour days. So I help them create solutions for getting all of the important things done in their business so they can grow their business with confidence, ease, and be completely present with the people that they love. So if you receive my weekly newsletter, and you can join at oneinsightcloser.com, then you probably know why there weren't any lives in January. And for those of you who aren't on the newsletter or haven't been reading it, that's fine. Let me catch you up. Let me include the link to the website. So if you want to join it, you can. So there's that. So to catch everybody up, my father-in-law passed away late December. It was right before Christmas. And his funeral was the first weekend in January. And I had made great plans for January and 2019. And there was lots to do in January to set myself up for the rest of the year. Lots of back end things, lots of just planning to do, just getting some things done. And I figured that after the funeral, I would just jump right back in and get to work. My brain told me, push through it, do all the things. And there was also like this deeper desire, like this deeper knowing. You can call it intuition, you can call it, my gut, whatever your word for it is. Um, it told me to slow down and take it easy, that was really what I needed in that moment. And so I did what I would tell anyone else to do, really easily tell anyone else to do, but I find so hard to do for myself sometimes. And that was, I was gentle with myself and I gave myself time. And the biggest way that was visible to the outside was there were no lives, no Facebook lives in January. So I was still working, but I wasn't working as much. And it gave me time personally to process and heal from a loss that I knew was coming, and I didn't think I'm gonna, sorry, tearing up a little bit. I didn't think it was going to hit me as hard as it did. Um, but those losses aren't easy regardless of how long you know that they're coming. So I gave myself time and space, and it was really what I needed, and it gave me some space to really think about what I wanted to be doing in my business, how I wanted to be approaching things. I had a couple of opportunities to be parts of programs that let me think about business and growing your business in a way I had been intuitively thinking about, but didn't really realize that I was already like 2 steps down the path that this person had talked about. So it was just some really great synchronicities. And it gave me some time and space to also think about, business wise, to think about some things that I'd kind of been mulling over toward the end of 2018. And one of those things was renaming these lives. So you might remember that these lives used to be called Wednesday Live with Evie. Um, but I had been thinking about renaming them to something so that if somebody who didn't know who I was were to come across it, they might have a little more incentive to click on it. It might give them a little better understanding about what the video was going to be about rather than just the title of the video and Wednesday Live with Evie. So I just want to take a minute to give a huge thank you to my mastermind group, the ladies in the WESOS Lifetime Members Facebook group, for helping me brainstorm names, and also to my Facebook group, Productivity for Women Entrepreneurs, who picked, I'm just copying that link, so if you want to join the group, you can do that, who picked this name from my top 3 contenders. Just trying to type that in there. There we go. So that's the history. That's how this came to be renamed to Productivity for Solopreneurs, Insights to Getting Things Done. And that's the name going forward. And so let's talk a little bit about my productivity insight for you this week. And that is, when you need a break, if you need a break, take it. I know it might mean that you're slowing down on something when you wanted to be hitting the accelerator. But it is so important. I know one of the little knowings in my head that I had is if I pushed through and tried to get all those things done that were on my schedule, I was going to be unhappy with where I ended up. That somehow the plan I had created for myself wasn't actually what needed to be done this year. So allowing myself that space to personally process, and then moving into the planning my business from there, that was just a wonderful, wonderful thing for me. So again, if you need a break, take it. And it might be that you take things slower for a couple of days, so you're not, pushing, the accelerator down to the floor. It might be that you take things easy for a couple of weeks or even a month, like I did. It might be taking a vacation where you're actually, getting out and to a certain degree away from your business for a little bit and having some other experiences on a regular basis. And it might just be taking an afternoon off. Take that time. There's a group that I'm in where every quarter, I think, they do virtual retreats. And so I'm taking this Friday off to participate in that virtual retreat. So, find the things that work for you. So being exhausted, being tired, being emotionally and creatively spent isn't good for you. It's not good for your business. It's not good for your productivity. You also need to take care of you. So I know that I have a lot more energy now that I've taken that time off. Last week was, one of the first times where I was really excited to sit down and plan and everything just flowed. And it was completely because I had given myself that time and I had taken it off. So if I would have pushed through, if I would have tried to get everything done that I wanted to get done, I would have ended up being a little bit of out of alignment in my business. It would have popped up other places. There was a video in my blog, I shared a story about an event that I went to where the woman was a relationship coach, and she was teaching us about how to have a successful coaching business and the systems and that she had in her business that we could emulate, and the client getting things that she did that we could emulate. And there was just something off about it. And somebody had asked, well, what do you do when that kind of stuff is, you're doing XYZ. And I don't actually remember exactly what the question was, but I remember her answer. I remember the answer very, very clearly, because she went off on this lady, and she just was yelling at her about how my boyfriend just broke up with me, and do you think I want to be here doing this training? No, I don't. But I had a responsibility to my business and to the people in this room to show up and to do this training, even though I didn't want to. And just like railed on this poor woman. And she's like, what just happened? And I remember thinking, it sounds like you're really hurt, like this woman who was doing the training, it sounds like you're really hurting right now, and that this wound is really fresh. And maybe it would have served you better to have said, you know what, I need to reschedule this. And yes, she would have been inconveniencing like 100 people, but the training, everyone's experience of it would have been so much better had she rescheduled it. Or if she had taken whatever time she needed before to process some of that, right? To take some downtime, however that needed to be for her. And because we felt it all through the training. So when you're not taking, my point here is when you're not taking those breaks, when you're not taking that time for yourself, it finds other little crevices to escape out of, and it might not be the way you want that to escape, right? So take the time for yourself, take care of yourself, give yourself breaks when you need them. Um, Regardless of what the reason is why you need the break or why you need the day off or whatever it is, give yourself the time. There's any number of analogies and stories I could tell around it, but I'm going to end it there. So I would love to know though what you are looking forward to in the rest of 2019, both professionally and personally. What do you have going on? What are you looking forward to? And excuse me, type it in the comments below. I'd love to know it. And until next week, much love. Great to be back.